Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're revisiting the assassination of President John F. Kennedy with the help of the book Crossfire: The Plot That Killed Kennedy by Jim Marrs. His work isn't just a retelling of the events you've heard before. Oh no, we're going to peel back the layers, sift through the evidence, and explore the theories that have left researchers and historians questioning the official story for decades. To begin, picture this. It's November 22nd, 1963, and you're in Dallas, Texas. The city is alive with anticipation as President Kennedy's motorcade winds its way through the streets. But beneath the surface, there's tension simmering. Dallas, you see, was known for its conservative and some might say extremist views. It was a stronghold for groups like the Ku Klux Klan and the John Birch Society. And yet, here was Kennedy, the young, charismatic, and overtly liberal president from Massachusetts, making a bold move by including Dallas in his itinerary. Kennedy was a president who inspired strong emotions. People either loved him or hated him. And on that fateful day, as he waved to the crowds, he was blissfully unaware of the storm that was about to unfold. But let's rewind a bit. Who was this man at the center of it all? John F. Kennedy, the first U.S. president born in the 20th century, was a man of privilege. Born into a wealthy family, he was the son of Joseph P. Kennedy, a man who amassed a fortune through shrewd investments and, some say, less than legal dealings. Jack, as the president was called by his family, was a sickly child, plagued by illness and a football injury that left him with lifelong back problems. But he was also a man of ambition, driven by a desire to make his mark on history. Kennedy's presidency was marked by his handling of civil rights, the Cold War, and the looming threat of nuclear war. But it was his visit to Texas in 1963 that would prove to be his undoing. Texas was a crucial state for Kennedy's re-election dreams, and he needed to win over its voters. But Dallas, with its reputation for conservatism and intolerance, was a risky move. As the motorcade made its way through Dealey Plaza, the crowd was enthusiastic, but there was an undercurrent of unease. The route had been published in the local papers, and the security measures, while tight, were not without their flaws. The motorcade was the center of attention, but little did anyone know, it was also the stage for a deadly ambush. The shots rang out, and chaos erupted. Witnesses reported seeing smoke on the grassy knoll, a wooded area to the west of the Texas School Book Depository, where the alleged assassin, Lee Harvey Oswald, was perched. Others claimed to have seen men with rifles in the grassy knoll long before the motorcade arrived. The confusion was palpable, and the initial response by authorities was anything but coordinated. In the aftermath, the evidence began to pile up. A rifle was found on the 6th floor of the depository, along with spent shell casings. Witnesses also saw Oswald at the building, but even this evidence is shrouded in controversy. The rifle was initially identified as a German Mauser, only to be later labeled as an Italian Mannlicher Carcano. Witnesses were pressured to change their stories, and some even died under mysterious circumstances. The Warren Commission, tasked with investigating the assassination, concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. But the evidence they based this conclusion on is far from conclusive. Oswald's background is a tapestry of intelligence connections, from his time in the Marines to his defection to Russia and back. And the circumstances surrounding his death at the hands of Jack Ruby only add to the mystery. Ruby's connections to organized crime and his ties to figures like Santos Trafficante and Sam Giancana raise questions about his motives. Was his killing of Oswald really the spontaneous act of a grief-stricken man? Or was there something more sinister at play? The medical evidence is equally troubling. The autopsy performed at Bethesda Naval Hospital was fraught with inconsistencies and irregularities. The president's wounds were altered, and key evidence was destroyed or suppressed. The single bullet theory, which suggests that one bullet struck both Kennedy and Governor Connally, is a point of contention that continues to divide experts. But perhaps the most compelling evidence of a conspiracy lies in the stories of the witnesses. People like Jean Hill, who claimed to have seen a man firing from behind the picket fence on the grassy knoll, and the mysterious Umbrella Man, whose actions have sparked countless theories. The House Select Committee on Assassinations even concluded that there was a high probability that a second gunman was involved. So what can we conclude from all of this? The evidence suggests that Lee Harvey Oswald was involved in intelligence activities and may have been set up as a patsy. The idea that he acted alone is difficult to reconcile with the wealth of evidence pointing to a conspiracy. And the cover-up that followed, involving the suppression of evidence and the intimidation of witnesses, suggests that powerful forces were at work to hide the truth. In the end, the Kennedy assassination was a complex web of intrigue, involving elements of organized crime, intelligence agencies, and political power players. The truth may never be fully known, but one thing is certain. The legacy of that day in Dallas continues to haunt us, reminding us of the fragility of democracy and the lengths to which those in power will go to protect their interests. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. And remember, the truth is out there, waiting to be discovered. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep seeking the truth. This has been a BrightLearn video from BrightLearn.ai on the book Crossfire, The Plot That Killed Kennedy by Jim Marrs. Visit BrightLearn.ai for more fascinating videos like this one, and naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage and breaking news on critical stories that keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.